I wanted to do a little segment on things that I believe should be complimentary. So we're going to do exactly that, okay? Now, you do what you like. What do I know? But I wanted to talk about things that you should never charge extra for, okay? Let's talk about this. Things that has to, obviously related to DJ service that you should never charge extra for. Never, ever, ever, in my humble opinion. And we're going to go down the line here, okay? Let's start with sound. I know you're thinking, whoa, who the hell charges extra for sound? This is probably the most shocking one, okay? I'm starting right away with a banger, okay? Sound. This is actually what caused me to even think of this segment in the first place, is sound. What I mean by that is you should always bring the sound that you need for the job, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've seen DJs charge extra for subwoofers or quote unquote full sound, If you want the bigger sound, it's going to be extra. Or if you want me to add a subwoofer, it's going to be extra. Bring what you need, people. At the end of the day, it's going to help you. The better your sound, it really does. Like it's a subconscious thing. Like, I don't know, there's no exact science done where it's proves my point. But I swear to God, if my sound is right, I have a better chance of getting people to dance. People generally have a better time. If you sound like shit, it's harder to get people to dance. The sound has to be at a certain volume, and you want to feel the music too. Always bring a subwoofer of some type. Depends on the room, whatever, but bring what you need. Make sure you can, if you feel it in your chest, you're more likely to kind of get hyped. There's a reason why they put 50,000 watt sound systems in clubs, because they want you to stay long, drink, spend a bunch of money, and while out. Because, music moves people, right? So to me, never charge extra for sound. Bring what you need, people. Same thing goes for 2 mics while we're on the sound subject, okay? I've seen DJs who charge extra for an extra mic. I think 2 mics should be a standard. Again, do what you like. What do I know? But it should be a standard, especially in COVID times, right? You got to be careful. There's germs. You can it's very, very dangerous out there. Someone could get your mic and they could speak in it, and then you take it and you speak in it, and then you can get the virus. And then once you got the virus, then you can spread it to your grandma, and it can get really bad, people. Okay, it's a dangerous word out there. So you should always use 2 mics. That way, if you're handing it off to someone to speak, it's more sanitary, right? It's also cleaner. It's also just a better process because, they get done. You can go right on your mic right away. All right, let's hear it for them, and then keep it pushing, right? It's just a better process. Now, I agree if it's more than 2 mics. If they want 6 mics or something, then yeah, maybe if you want to charge extra. I mean, I just bring whatever, but I could see why you might want to, that's a lot of production. You might need a different mixer, all that stuff. But 2 mics, don't charge for an extra mic. I highly recommend always bringing 2 mics. Furniture is another one. If you own furniture, right, like DJ furniture, I think it should be complimentary. And this is a very big question I get a lot. They're do you charge extra for your furniture? How does it work? Do you have a furniture package? And I don't. Furniture is just how I set up. It was the first thing I bought. When I came to SCE, I didn't have much, right? I had my setup and my sound, and that was pretty much it. Because, I came from companies where, the companies kind of had everything. So I didn't buy lights, I didn't have anything fancy, and I just had a regular setup, a facade, and everything. First thing I bought was furniture, before lights, before anything else. Because I figured, and I ended up being right, if I looked a certain way, I would hand out more cards. Those of you that invested money into a furniture, thousands of dollars, right? No matter what kind of furniture you got, it's big money. You got to get the case to carry it in, all that stuff. I think it's a bad idea to charge extra for it because you're not going to always use it. You want to always use it. When you use it, you're going to look your best. You're putting your best foot forward, and you're going to hand out more cards. The first impressions are going to be 10 times better. It really does make a huge, huge difference. Your presentation, how you look, especially if you're in a market where a lot of DJs don't use furniture. If you're in a market where you're pretty much the only DJ that has furniture, my God, you should use it. You should always use it no matter what, but definitely in that case, because that's a huge competitive advantage. I'm sure every time you use it, you walk into the ballroom, you set up everything, and I'm sure there's one person at least every party, every wedding that's like, whoa, nice setup. I like your setup. I like this whole setup, right? They come up, they compliment you. You got a card? That's pretty nice. We've never seen anything like this, right? You'll hand out cards before you even play a song, before you even show them how great you are at DJing. You're handing out cards. So if you invested in furniture, if you own it, I highly, highly recommend use it every single time. You can ask Santi to confirm this. We literally use my furniture every single event unless we absolutely cannot. Unless we absolutely physically cannot, no matter what, use the furniture. Me and Santi have carried my furniture up 10 steps, like a flight of steps before. There's a venue called Carriage House. It's like towards the shore, and it has these infamous, it's like you go through the kitchen, and then in the back, there's this like huge set. It's probably like 12, 14 steps. Huge set of steps, and they're red. They're like red steps, the infamous steps. Me and Santi have literally carried the furniture up those steps before. Because it's just worth it. I'm telling you, it just makes such a big difference, and it becomes a part of your brand, you know? So unless you absolutely cannot, highly recommend, always use it. Don't charge extra. Just charge, with all these things in general, just raise your price a little then, you know? If you need to bring an extra person to use the furniture, so it's added cost, I get that. Raise your overall price. Listen, I'm this price now. This is my minimum, but you always get this. For this, you always get this. I just think it's a better route. And you get better footage. So many. And speaking about bringing an extra person, assistant's a whole nother one, okay? I've done whole videos on this. Just Google my name and assistant or something. It'll pop up. I could go on literally an hour-long rant, and I'm not going to do that here. You should always bring an assistant no matter what, but definitely don't charge extra for it. And that should just be a part. Raise your overall price and always bring someone extra, okay? Logistically, setting up, breaking down is better. Having someone with you to hang out and talk trash on people in front of you, people watching stuff, is better. It's fun, okay? They can help and do the music while you're emceeing. So it's a two-man team, so it's a better process overall. It's smoother. They can adjust volumes out there while you're out there. Like, you know what I mean? Two-man, it's always easier with two. Two heads are better than one. And for all you wedding DJs that are big on backup, having an assistant is the ultimate backup. What if you die? What if you die mid-wedding? Who's going to take over for you? If you're getting up there in age, and you're doing weddings and you don't bring an assistant, what happens if you die at the wedding? Is that how you're going to go out? The party dies with you. The wedding dies with you. You're going to ruin a wedding on your last day? Or you're going to go out like a hero? You're going to go out like a hero because you had an assistant with you. The assistant, you do a moment of silence, they carry you out, and then the assistant steps up and he rocks the party for the rest of the night. Right? And I see someone in the chat saying people don't want to pay for it. They do. You just listen, when it comes to charging a little extra and all that, you got to brand it right. You got to put they have to feel like they're getting something expensive. And you know, and literally you can use this as a selling point, you know? Every meeting I have, I talk and say, well, it's always a two-man team. I always at least bring Santi, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, more depending on production, blah, blah, but minimum two-man team, this is why, da-da-da-da. That's a competitive advantage. That's a selling point because there's a lot of DJs that just do it alone, right? I always bring furniture. And I use turntables. They're built into a furniture piece, so it's all nice and neat. And I'm like, listen, you know, I'm not going to get in all like, you know, what equipment I use and all that, but I'll send you pictures of everything because obviously this is a really nice ballroom you're having your wedding at. You don't want an ugly ass DJ setup, right? So just so you know, everything's nice and clean and neat. And that's kind of just how I put it. But then I send pictures and I show them. My price is a little higher because my setup is nice. You know what I mean? Like people will pay for it if you brand it right, if you market it right, if you sell it correctly. You know, just raise your standard and then bring everything you need. And then the last thing I was thinking was like consultations, but you know, that's just a joke. A lot of people go, free consultations. Everybody gives free consultations. Don't worry, obligation free. Totally free, obligation free. No pressure, consultations. Everybody gives those for free, right? Just my 2 cents, people. Again, what do I know? Okay, the whole subwoofer thing triggered it. I forget where I seen it, and I'm like, oh, I got to talk about this because I'm all about charging extra for things, but certain thing I just think the whole point of the whole thing is bring what you need to do the best possible job you could do. Right, put your best foot forward. Sound, extra help, furniture, all of it. Always put your best foot forward. You're going to hand out more cards. You're going to have a more successful party, which will also enable you to hand out more cards and get more business, and you get the train rolling, The better your parties, the more parties you're going to do. You just get the train rolling. That's how you get referrals in.